Resident Evil 2 just got an unofficial HD remaster, and you can play it now. Resident Evil 2, Capcom's classic survival horror game from 1998, looks crisper and more detailed than ever thanks to a new HD remaster mod. So I seen this article and I thought it was really cool, especially considering that, I had just announced that they had released Resident Evil 2 for GOG or GOG. It was pretty much, for anyone that doesn't know, it was actually the first video I ever did so far. So it was a little bit over about almost 2 months ago now, where I just mentioned that they're bringing it to GOG. It's one of those things, and it's actually kind of funny. I actually found out that GOG stands for Good Old Games. I believe I found that out yesterday, and I thought it was really cool. I like that. I like that title. I like that name. So the fact that goes kind of hand in hand with the classic games, I think that's awesome. Especially because that's like where you want to go if you want to try to play retro games online. So the fact that they're already making like a remastered HD version, I think is so cool. I think it's really nice because like I said, it hasn't even been on GOG for 2 months. So if they're already able to start doing HD remasters, there's going to be a lot more mods that are going to be coming out. So I think that's amazing. I think that's really awesome. So we'll go ahead and get into some of the information here. So the article just starts off. This editor Ed Smith, he just talks about how he's a fan of Resident Evil and everything like that. So we'll go ahead and skip kind of that information, and we'll just kind of get over here. So if you want to revisit Resident Evil 2 now, it's on GOG. A new unofficial remaster mod is perfect for bringing layers of extra details to one of the all-time greats. So that's like I said, I think that's really cool, especially considering that it hasn't even been released on there for that long, and with the fact that Resident Evil 3 was also released on GOG. I think it was like a couple of weeks back, so probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So more than likely, if we were able to see some HD remaster or kind of HD remakes or whatnot of the Resident Evil 2, we're probably going to be able to see something similar for Resident Evil 3, and that has me really hyped because Resident Evil 2, like, it's really cool and it looks nice, but it's one of those things. There's certain parts of it where it isn't that much into detail. But if you look at like Resident Evil 3, since Jill is kind of traveling around Raccoon City and everything like that, there are parts of it that are very detailed. So the fact that they're able to do that for Resident Evil 2 has me pumped for what's to come for Resident Evil 3. And then we'll go ahead and continue on. Resident Evil 2 is the ideal sequel. By shifting the horror from a remote mansion to a bustling city, it ups the stakes mechanically, dramatically, and in terms of scale. There are more monsters and a greater range of environments. One of the formative survival horror games alongside Alone in the Dark, the original Silent Hill, and Parasite Eve, Resident Evil 2 stands up perfectly well today, and it's thankfully much easier to access since it was re-released on CD Projekt Red's GOG, so Good Old Games. However, if you want to up the visual quality and see Resident Evil 2 as you've never seen it before, the aptly named Resident Evil Enhance is the ideal mod for you. So cool. Available right now, Resident Evil Enhanced increases the resolution and details of every single background in Capcom's classic. It's not perfect. While each background has been refined manually, there are also been enhances using AI tools, meaning some look a little smeared or over-designed. In aggregate though, and especially in areas like in the upstairs and in the RPD and Chief Iron's office, this is a very convincing RE2 unofficial remaster. So, and then it just gives like a little picture right here that we can go ahead and check out. So you can definitely tell from the look of this tiger right here how the detail is, enhanced. The way that the table looks, it doesn't have that kind of blurry look that you're kind of used to playing if you've been able to play this game in the past. And the fact that if you look at Claire, she looks more like the Claire Redfield we get in the Resident Evil 2 remake, where you can have the skin, where you can have the classic Claire and classic Leon. So the fact that it looks like they incorporated that into this HD remaster with the backgrounds, I think it works pretty well. I think it works really well, and I think it looks really good. So the fact that they're able to do that, I think it's amazing because this, like I said, it has me really hyped for what they're going to be able to do for Resident Evil 3. And now I know that Jill might be a little bit different since they never actually did like an HD remaster with her for Resident Evil 3, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did not like Resident Evil 3 remake at all. I ended up returning that one. That's one of the few games that I've actually returned because I was so upset with that one. I did not like the fact that they cut so much content. They pretty much made it like a new game because one of the things that I loved about Resident Evil 2 was the fact that they did have it so that you could look at areas from Resident Evil 2's gameplay and then look at them for Resident Evil 2 Remake's gameplay, and it looks like almost like the exact same areas, just upscaled and with a little bit more detail. And I love that. I love that so much that they were able to do that. So the fact that they didn't do that for Resident Evil 3, honestly, it pissed me off. It really pissed me off. And I didn't like the direction that they took with it. I didn't like the look of Nemesis, the redesign that they had done. So at the end of it, I was just like, you know what, I'm good. And then also, I mean, I know that some people do like the change that they did with Jill Valentine's character. I didn't like it personally. Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 1 remake on the GameCube, that will always be the definitive Jill to me. So if they are able to kind of do some things for the Resident Evil 3 original, I would very much love to see that, because it is one of those things. I love that game. I have played it a lot. And yeah, so the fact that they didn't do the remake justice, I feel like they can do justice to the original if they can kind of do like a little bit of like a remake that they did with this. So let's go ahead and check out the last bit right here, and then we should be good. So it also works with the GOG version. If you want to take a look and try it for yourself, Resident Evil Enhanced is available right here. You may also want to know about the curious Resident Evil 9 Metacritic page that appears earlier this week. So that's pretty much just talking about how there's a Metacritic page for Resident Evil 9. So there's a possibility that we're going to get some news on it coming soon. But yeah, so this is really cool. I think this is awesome that we're able to get this type of stuff, even like especially so short after it's been released on GOG. So like I said, this just has me pumped. This has me excited for what's to come with the remakes in the future. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Are you guys hyped that they're doing this for Resident Evil 2? And are you expecting them to do something with Resident Evil 3? And if so, are you guys going to be looking forward to it? So let me know what you guys think. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.